In this video, we're going to talk about nocreate and determining what effects Freespace Open draws. So, let's say I want to modify an existing weapon from the weapons table, but I don't want to replace the entire entry. Well, that's when nocreate comes in, and Media VPs actually does that for the retail weapons. If you go into Freespace 2 Media VPs 3612, you can find this VP called MVFX 3612. And I opened that right here. You go to Data, Tables, and you find MVFX WEP TBM right here. Open that guy up, extract to directory, and put them in rmod data tables. And then you will get, if we go into rmod data tables, you see that he's right here. Now, let's do a side-by-side comparison to see how nocreate looks like as opposed to just having a flat-out weapon entry. Okay, I actually had these open ahead of time. So we've got the Subak HL7. The Subak HL7 in an actual weapons table entry like what we're used to. And then here it is with nocreate. Wow. Now the difference with nocreate is this line right here. And what this says is I know that there is an actual table reference of this Subak HL7 already in my mod file somewhere. But what I want to do is I want to modify it. And I want to modify it without replacing the entire entry. So basically what happens is that laser bitmap right here will overlap laser bitmap right here. Notice that velocity, for example, is not specified in nocreate, in our nocreate right here. That's okay. Nocreate isn't about relisting every line. Nocreate is about modifying the lines you want. Good. So the thing about nocreate to keep in mind is even though you don't have to list every line that you listed in the previous entry, you have to list them in order, just like in the weapons table. So whatever's here needs to be in order. You can have one line. Whoops. You can have one line like that, and that would be fine. But whatever you add, like for example, glow has to be behind bitmap, color has to be behind glow. All that needs to be in order. Okay, good. So now what I want to talk about is, let's go down to our harpoon. I want to talk about changing effects to whatever we want. Okay, so there are a lot of table entries that deal with numbers, but some table entries actually reference a string. And this trail entry here, at the end there's bitmap here, and that actually references a two-dimensional picture that is drawn by Freespace Open. So we can see that our nocreate also references that same bitmap. And this numis1, if we open up Sparky here, we can see that numis1 corresponds to this little red wavy texture right here. So, or I should call it an effect, not a texture. So, so great. Now, the reason why I've been avoiding this topic until now is because this numis1 right here, if you change this in the table, I'm in the weapons table, right? If you change this to anything, it doesn't, FSO won't care. And the reason why that is because TBM files overwrite TBL files, in especially with nocreate. So even though this table was in a secondary list and our mod files should overwrite that, because this is a weapons table and this is a weapons TBM, the TBM will win over the table. Okay, so keep that in mind. And for that reason, I could change anything here in the table, and that won't matter because the nocreate will overwrite that. All right, so that's a very important thing to note. Now, this problem can be remedied by with three solutions, which I'm going to talk about right now. We could create a new weapon name, like our Piranha 2, which isn't modified by the Media VP's TBM. So Media VPs did not think about a Piranha 2 weapon, so they didn't create a nocreate for that. So you avoid the problem entirely. The second way to do that, which I don't recommend, is by removing Media VPs. And if we remove Media VPs, we are going to get the original artwork that Volition made 10 years ago. The problem is that that's very dated work, and the people who work on Media VPs actually did a really good job to create high-quality artwork. So I wouldn't recommend doing this. The third way, which is the way we're going to do it, is import a Media VP's TBM into your mod folder and edit that instead of editing the weapons table. Okay, great. So let's change this, because this table actually is, right now it's an RMod data table, so we can change this and it will affect our mod. So let's say I like yellow trails, and I just like it yellow. So I'm gonna go into Sparky here, and I'm gonna find a missile trail that's yellow, and apparently Numis 3 is yellow. So I'm gonna go ahead and type Numis 3 into our media MVFX web. All right, save this guy, and let's test it out to see if my harpoon was actually changed. All right, so confirm the changes in the launcher and run it. So there, while I'm loading this, there are a lot of different textures, or I shouldn't say textures, effects that you can use. Not just in Sparky, which is the Volition-made VP that has all the effects, but also in Media VP's MV effects has, I think, 1,600 effects in it. So, all right. The reason why I'm picking line at the door is because harpoon is in line at the door. So if I fire harpoon, look at that, yellow. So that's we have changed the way you could actually kind of see right there the drawing at work. But whoops, let me get out of here. So yeah, that's basically how you do it. You have a lot of versatility with this because you can call a lot of different beautiful pieces of artwork. So I suggest you have a lot of fun with this because I actually think this is pretty cool. All right, one more thing, one last thing before I wrap up this video, because I do have a minute, is I just want to show you what is in the Media VP's asset VP file. So if we go with Media VP's 3612, we've got MV effect.